Got a couple of important acronyms that you should learn. They do affect your life. One is MPO. The other is MSA. No, it's nothing you eat or not any artificial ingredient into your fast food. Joining us on 710 KURV, our mayor of Brownsville, Mayor Tony Martinez. Welcome back, Mayor. First up, what is an MPO, sir?
Metropolitan Planning Organization.
Okay, and that is an organization that's local and receives money for transportation from the state, correct?
It gets stuff from the state, but a lot of it comes from the federal government that is managed by the state. So that's how it kind of trickles down to the local effort.
All right, and we got 3 MPOs, one that's based in Brownsville, another one that's based in Harlingen, San Benito, or Harlingino. That would be a good fusing of the name.
Yeah,
and the other one,
that's a good.
The other one would be in the Metro McAllen area. Steve Taylor had a chance to speak with you at the Rio Grande Guardian. You mentioned to him that any idea to unify all 3 into one is not a good idea. What would that be, sir?
At this particular point, like I pointed out to the Commissioner of Transportation, Hidalgo County is one MPO for the entire county. Brownsville, Harlingen, San Benito are 2 different MPOs. We've had our growing pangs. The Brownsville, actually, the MPO is the largest one down here. And so we need to kind of coordinate our efforts with Harlingen, San Benito first. And then, like I said, we need to crawl before we walk, and we got to walk before we run. And they're very insistent about trying to get some of this stuff done, but they have yet to show me any of what it really entails and how does it really translate into more money for Brownsville. And I doubt that they can do that, to be honest with you.
They say that some of the supporters say that if this area were to unite into one Metropolitan Planning Organization, MPO, and were to sit at the table to ask more money, that this area would be one of the biggest in Texas and might get some discretionary funding from the state.
Well, yeah, I mean, it all sounds good on paper, but I'd rather have it down in black and white, and they can't do that. They really can't. They're talking about Fort Worth, Dallas doing it. They're talking about, some of these other areas that have, consolidated. But quite frankly, they haven't shown me that it's inures to the benefit of Brownsville.
Understood. Yeah, and with everything happening in Brownsville these days, it seems that the economy of the valley is definitely shifting towards the coast with all these liquefied natural gas nodes that want to set up shop and all the transportation requirements there with SpaceX and international firms always coming to Matamoros. You're going to have, near future, a lot of new transportation demands on infrastructure.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't mind talking to anybody about anything, but the truth of the matter is I'm not going to listen to empty rhetoric. And what I feel is my responsibility is exactly why we look at acronyms and going like, what does it stand for? Mm-hmm. And the operative word here is planning, and that's what we're doing in Brownsville. We're doing strategical planning for the future, and our needs are equally important as anything regionally. But right now, our region is having growing pains.
Oh yeah.
And as you can tell, SpaceX did a beautiful job on Friday, which only is going to accelerate some of the projects that they've got, on the drawing board. So
yes, sir. And that big manufacturer that's coming to the area as well. Thousands of jobs on the way. Lots of people using the roadways. You're going to need a lot of space out there near the port and new territory. Joining us on 710 KURV, our mayor of Brownsville is Tony Martinez.
Mayor Tim Sullivan here. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you have spoken in favor of the valley becoming a single MSA, correct? Fusing Brownsville, Harlingen, and McAllen. You have favored that, correct?
Yeah, and let's get MSA, Metropolitan Statistical Area, that would recognize the entire Rio Grande Valley market, at least Hidalgo County, Cameron County, as one market, not two separate.
A single market, yeah.
Yeah, no. The market, statistically, I think that's probably a more correct approach to what we've got going, because we really, people that come down here, they either fly into Brownsville, Harlingen, or McAllen, and before you know it, the people that go into McAllen are down in Brownsville about something, and the people from Brownsville are up in McAllen or Harlingen or whatever. So that in a sense, is the holistic approach on that effort is a little different than the planning.
Yeah. So my next question was going to be, can we become a single MSA without becoming a single MPO?
Oh, sure,
Yeah.
sure. That it's apples and oranges, and
I
quite
see.
frankly, some of the proponents would like to kind of fuse the fusion aspect of it together, but it's not really true. And like I said, one has to do with monies and allocations, and the need. I mean, you're looking at a second causeway to South Padre Island. And again, it's not about not being regional. It's about being specific in what are the needs, and again, what are it's no different than a regional university. Right now, some of the growing pains that we're having is because of the perception of what's going where, and quite frankly, none of that is of great concern, because I think it'll all be an equalizing situation if we all keep our heads in the game. But when it comes down to infrastructure, it's a little different.
Joining us on 710 KURV is Brownsville Mayor Tony Martinez. And as we close this conversation, what do you think that higher up transportation people need to show you, Mayor, to convince you that one MPO, a planning organization, would be a good idea for Brownsville and for everyone else around here?
Well, if they could make me feel comfortable in the sense that they're going to meet all the needs that we have coming up in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And of course, again, that's where your competing forces go. That's not to say that the Upper Valley is not going to say, well, we have need for those same dollars.
Yeah.
And there you go again,
Yes, sir.
I think you might want to grow the pie bigger as opposed to having the same pie and try to divide it. And I'm not so sure.
No, and
that
you've got quite the argument with heavy manufacturing on the way, thousands of jobs at LNGs and everything else that's going to spin off, creating that big demand for you. Mayor, thank you much for your time. That's Tony Martinez joining us on 710 KURV.